What is up, you guys? It is your boy John here from Puma Plow. Welcome back to an on the farm video. I know it's been far too long, but I appreciate you guys clicking on the video. How's it going? And welcome in, guys. So today is kind of an update video. It has been a bit of a while since I've made an on the farm. I know I promised one a month, and well, I don't think I've delivered on that at all. So I do apologize for that. But we're here now, and that's all that matters. So, I'm currently in the truck. I'm driving out the lane. I want to show you guys something out here, and then we'll get to some other stuff today here on the farm. All right, you guys, we are going to be jumping in and out of voiceover mode because it was so obnoxiously windy that you guys could not actually hear me very well at all during this part here where I'm actually walking in the lane, and you guys can see some of the ruts in the lane that I've been talking about on my live streams. Holy cow, they're pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty gnarly in spots, and you can see they're getting worse right here. And yeah, it's pretty bad. It was kind of shocking to see these for the first time. Dad and I just went to the farm, and it's like, wow, there's 6-inch ruts in spots in our lane. Thanks, random person who we're not sure who did this, but we'll talk about that later. But you can just see it is terrible right here. The lane has not been this rutted in many, many, many years. And I know we need more gravel in our road. You can tell we need more gravel, but it's pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. The ruts were pretty bad. And here's another one kind of on the side of the lane a little bit over farther, you know, still pretty bad. Just saying. Yeah, look at that. I mean, just look how terrible that is. Look at that. That's terrible. Now, I know the ruts may not look that bad on camera, and whatever, it is what it is. In spots, these ruts are probably up to 6 inches deep. They are very deep, and the problem is now that the lane is rutted. Here, you can see we're going to bounce through them right here. There we go. Now that the lane is actually rutted, every time it rains or we get a little snow or something, it's going to hold that moisture, and then, God forbid, somebody else comes in here when it's wet. They're just going to go even deeper and even deeper and even deeper. Here's another one, bounce through it right here. There we go. So it's dry enough out here today where I'm not making any new ruts or adding to it in any way. I'll show you guys another spot up here. But I guess I shouldn't be too upset because all it means is I get to break out the 995 come spring when it's warmer and I can stand to be on the tractor and have to grade the lane. It's been 2 years since I've actually graded the lane. Last year we lucked out and didn't have to worry about it. Our road was in great shape. Not coming down here as much in the winter, you know, when it's freezing and thawing here in the St. Louis area, has actually helped us out quite a bit. So there's that. When Dad was a kid, this lane was rutted up every year. That's just the way it was, because they lived here and you had to come in and out. That's just, you had to go in and out your lane, and those days when it's thawing and the frost is coming out of the ground, you just have to do it. So here we are at another spot farther out the lane. You can actually see that loose dirt there means the person was spinning out. As you spin out on dirt, gravel, it'll kind of pile it up behind you like that. And yeah, I'm just assuming they came flying in here at 90 miles an hour and cut these ruts. That's my theory anyway. Just saying. Anyway, so these ruts are terrible. I'm not happy about this, but like I said, I shouldn't be too upset. It means I get to break out my 995 and grade the lane, and I enjoy doing that. It's work, but I enjoy doing it. The other thing is, you guys might be saying, well, John, who done it? Who done it? Don't know. We have no idea who it was. We called the farmers that farm all this ground around us and just said, you know, hey, did you guys know the lane's really bad? Because technically we don't own this lane. We have a 99-year agreement with them, or I believe it's 99-year agreement, whatever it is. We have an agreement with the farmers that bought the farm that we can have access to the farm via this road. The only trade-off is that we maintain the road, and that's fine. We don't mind it. We enjoy maintaining the road for the most part, and you know, it's all good. It's all good. But we called them and they said they haven't been here in weeks. Literally haven't been in here in weeks. So we have no idea who it was. It could have just been some drunk idiot in here joyriding, playing in the mud. That's probably what it was, let's be honest. So now, guys, we are going to cut back to some footage from earlier this year. Yeah, I think it was earlier in January. some footage of that tractor. I've been talking about it on streams a little bit. We're going to go ahead and cut to that footage about a new tractor that probably is not going to stay on the farm. But we'll go to that footage right now, and I'll probably jump into voiceover mode as well. So I'll see you all in a second. All right, guys, we are on to the tractor now. The the Troy-Bilt tractor that was actually our neighbor's down the street. It's a GTX 20, which means a 20 horsepower. It has a 60-inch deck with it, which we'll get to in a minute. Oh boy, is there problems with this tractor. This tractor looks fairly decent. It does have a fiberglass hood, and you can see it's a little faded at times. These metal side panels are in pretty good shape. This tractor, from what we've been told, this tractor lived on a driving range. This was the tractor they cut grass with on a driving range somewhere in the St. Louis area. I'm not actually totally sure where it was. Our neighbor got this tractor for nothing, so he has nothing invested in it. And he basically has been asking us for a while if we would take the tractor and kind of fix it up. You know, give it a once over, see what it needed, kind of let him know how much it was going to be before we tore into it too much. But you can see we're messing with the engine. This is the same engine that is actually in our newer Power King tractor. So we do have experience with this engine. Back in the day when we were working on that Power King tractor, after we got it on the farm, we actually pulled the motor and replaced, I believe it was the rear main seal. I believe that's what it was. I could be wrong. Dad will probably correct me, but not a bad engine, but it has its problems like everything else. So yeah, this tractor just on the surface has some issues. Obviously it has some issues. You know, something that's been sitting around for a while, you're going to replace every bit of the fuel system that you can, meaning fuel line, fuel filter. I don't even know if it has a filter. Of course, we're going to add one in. You can hear it does run. It runs fairly well, actually. The motor does have problems, though. There are definitely some gremlins hiding under the hood of this particular tractor. Yes, definitely some gremlins. So basically what we got into was we wanted to make the tractor functional as far as running, just so we can move it around and stuff a little bit easier. As it stands right now with just the tractor, which actually it didn't even have a battery. We put that battery in it, I believe. I think. I could be wrong on that one. But just on the tractor alone, trying to get the thing running, that's actually what we're messing with right here. You can see we have our nurse tank right here, we call this. It's just a small gas tank off of something. I don't even know what it was off of. Lawnmower, probably, I would assume. And we put some gas in there, and we can hook it up to different things. So we've used this for quite a few things on the farm. And the reason for doing this is so you don't contaminate the carburetor, let's say. We don't know what's in the fuel tank. There probably is water. This tractor has been sitting outside for quite some time. You can see behind the seat there, the fuel cap is covered in duct tape. So you just never know. Well, apparently I wasn't supposed to put this clip in the video, but that's okay. Apparently you don't know. I mean, you just don't know what's in the fuel system. So there's that. So we hooked it right to the carburetor and went to fire it up here. You can see Dad's going to give it a boost with some carb cleaner. And the problem was the starter is stuck. The starter is stuck in the out position. Like when you hit the key, the little gear will move and then it should retract. Well, it doesn't retract. So at the least, we're going to have to work on that. Maybe a new starter, although the starter does sound pretty healthy on this tractor. But we're going to go ahead and take the side panel off just to kind of get in. Dad took his side panel off on his side as well. These are actually pretty nifty. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like this design. It's one screw, and then, as you can see over on Dad's side, the whole panel swings out. There's a hinge in the front, so you can get into your engine and do stuff if you have to, but I wasn't sure how far it went, by the way, so I'm kind of like testing it. You know, your side panel just swings out. I thought that was pretty neat, but this tractor, this poor tractor, just... It has gremlins, guys. It has gremlins. So to get to the starter, we had to take this side panel off and pull this spark plug out here in a second.
And I'm going to go ahead and talk about what we found. I didn't really get any good footage of it, so I did not include it in the video. But the magneto and the oh man, Dad's going to kill me for butchering this. Basically, the flywheel has been rubbing on the magneto. That's what it is. So to fix that, okay, to fix it, we actually have to pull the motor out of the tractor. We got to pull the motor to get to everything like we need to on the backside of the motor here. And I don't know if we're going to, do it. I just really don't know. It's kind of up to Dad. I mean, it would be his money that he would be putting into the tractor and our time. And I just don't know if we're going to do it or not. I mean, the tractor, as of right now, this footage, like I talked about earlier, was filmed a while ago. The tractor is just sitting at the farm in the shed. And I just don't know if we're going to do anything with it or not. I know I say later in the video we're probably not, but since I filmed that, Dad's kind of gone back and forth on me a little bit about if we're going to do something with this tractor or not. So it's actually not even the right spark plug that's supposed to be in that engine, but anyway, that's another story. This is how nasty this tractor was. This tractor, I don't think they ever blew this thing off at the golf course or the driving range. There's actually a golf ball in between them. I believe it's between the motor and like the firewall. There's a golf ball buried in this thing. It's still there. We didn't get it out. It's kind of funny, but yeah. So to fix this tractor, and these are just the few obvious problems that we found with this tractor. The motor has oil leaks, multiple oil leaks. So the motor's going to have to come apart. That particular engine, I should say, comes apart in multiple pieces. So if we do it, we're going to be literally stripping that thing down to, cylinders and stuff. It's going to be terrible. That's some of the dirt we got out from underneath the engine. And here's the deck, guys. This is actually a 60-inch cut, 72 inches wide total. It has like a built-in metal chute. And every single bearing, the little ground-following wheels, the anti-scalp wheels, whatever you want to call it, are junk. This is a ground-following deck. It's actually a pretty beefy deck, but everything that can go wrong with this deck is wrong with this deck, okay? They abuse this thing at the driving range, which, of course, a driving range probably cut a lot of grass with this thing over the years. I don't know how good this deck is as far as actually cutting, because it's kind of shallow, and I don't know if 20 horse engine, whatever it is. I don't know about it. I just don't know. I think it would be too much deck for that tractor personally, but that's just me. You can see everything about this deck is wore out. This side over here has pulled and cracked the top plate, or it's bolted. It's a whole thing. This deck is a wreck, to be honest. This deck really is. It's fixable, but here's the thing. So Dad works at a lawnmower shop and gets parts, obviously, at a discounted rate. He added up just parts alone, and it was like $950 just to fix the deck to where it should be if you were going to go out and cut your grass with it. So $950 just to fix the deck. We are definitely not going to fix the deck, and actually the neighbor has decided he doesn't want any part of the tractor. So technically the tractor's ours if we want it, but
Alright guys, so welcome back to present day after we went and looked at that tractor. I'm hiding behind a building here because of the wind. So as far as the tractor goes, guys, I kind of don't think we're going to do anything with it. I think we're going to possibly talk to our local tech school about taking it, like a high school program, about them kind of rehabbing it just to, teach them about the motor and stuff. We'll see. Dad's going to talk to the guy and see if they want it. Otherwise, it's probably just going to go to the junkyard and get scrapped out eventually, because we could use the tractor itself, but it's got so many problems that we just don't have the time to bring it back to life. So it would be a good tractor, not to cut grass with. The deck is junk, the deck is shot, but the actual tractor itself would be okay to use for some stuff, spraying and whatever. I don't know what we would use it for, but I just don't think we want to put the time and the money into that tractor to bring it back, because we have so many other little tractors. We don't really need another one, Anyway, I'm standing over here by the rye. Wanted to show you guys a little rye update real fast. It doesn't look like much, of course, because it's winter. Just saying. So as you guys can tell, here's the rye patch, if you can even see the rye. We do have a pretty good stand. or pretty good stand of rye out here. I'm pretty happy with that. But of course it is winter still, so it's not really doing a whole lot. Once it starts to warm up, I believe we'll probably fertilize it, and it'll be off to the races then, producing our straw crop for the pumpkins, basically our cover crop for the pumpkins. So there is that. It should be pretty good. Should be pretty good. So overall, I would say we're pretty happy with the rye so far. Pretty happy with the way it came up last year. I'm glad I took that one day and just went nuts down here and, you know, disced up the pumpkins and got the rye in the ground, rolled it, everything, all that, did that all in one day and just went nuts with it and put in a long day, but you know, we got it all done. So with that, guys, I think that's where I'm going to leave this on the farm. Sorry this video's shaky. This microphone's catching a lot of wind up there. But that's where I'm going to leave this on the farm. I will try to make a video whenever I can make the next video. I don't know when. Try to get the camera out from time to time and film some little clips for you guys. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, toodles.